Welcome back. Let's now talk Edo politics. We're being joined in the program by the Chairman Edo PDP Caretaker Committee, Mr. Dr. Anthony Azegbami. He joins us via Zoom. Also, former Commissioner for Communication and also a lawyer, Mr. Andrew M. Wata. Both men joining us via Zoom. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Yeah, good evening, Jeffrey. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much,
I'm not sure
Jeffrey.
I can hear you. Mr. Azegbami, if you can unmute.
Happy New Year.
All right, fantastic, Mr. Azegbami. I'm happy I see both of you. So let me start with you, Mr. Azegbami, because you're the one at the receiving end of this battle. The 18 local government chairmen are all members of the PDP, and the Speaker of the House of Assembly is a member of the PDP. If my facts are right, also the majority members of the House of Assembly are members of PDP. But we're seeing what is playing out. What exactly is a true picture of things as we speak right now? The chairmen, have they been able to return to council because they said they had a judgment that invalidated the position of the assembly and the governor? What exactly is the picture of things? Maybe help us paint it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jeffrey, for having me. It's an opportunity to lay the facts bare without any embellishment. At about the 17th of December, the governor wrote a letter to the House of Assembly, premising his letter on Section 10(1) of the Edo State 2000 Local Government Act, saying that the council chairmen were showing signs of gross insubordination, that they were asked to present copies of their financial reports, and after 2 weeks, they have refused to present those financial reports. Based on that, he asked the House of Assembly to look into the matter. Now, Section 10 of that Act talks about dissolution of the councils. The House of Assembly sat on the 17th, and their resolution states that the council chairmen are suspended. The council chairmen, being law-abiding, went to the court to say, we cannot be suspended by the House of Assembly, premising their arguments on the Supreme Court judgment before the 17th of December. And F.A. Ikwawamba, a judge in Edo State High Court 2 in Benin, agreed with the arguments of the council chairman and reinstated them to their different councils. One would have thought that everybody will hold on and obey that court judgment. What happened after that? People were going about at the instruction of the governor across the local governments, chasing people with horsewhips. I'm sure you saw that video. When that didn't work, the next thing was 1 or 2 councillors impeaching a council chairman. Jeffrey, I will say this for the benefit of all Nigerians. Section 19 of the Edo State Local Government Act states the procedure with which you can impeach a council chairman. And it takes a minimum of 9 weeks to do that. These guys are taking 1 councillor, maximum 2 councillors, and impeaching a council chairman within 10 minutes. So for us as a party, we don't believe, you said at the beginning that we are at the receiving end. We are not at the receiving end. The rule of law is at the receiving end. Decency is at the receiving end. Edo State is under siege. The Supreme Court judgment, the Attorney General's Council, the judgment of the Chief Judge of Edo State, the judgment of F.A. Ikwawamba, all the judgments of the courts are being ignored in Edo State. Today, Justice Emeka Owete gave a judgment saying status quo should not be maintained from the 15th of December. We will get the enrollment order tomorrow. We hope that Edo State government, under Senator Mondo Okpebholo, will obey this court judgment that we got today. So for us as a party, we are excited with the judgment that we got today. We think the rule of law has to prevail in Edo State. We believe that it's only when the rule of law is obeyed that you have progress and harmony in the state.
All right, Mr. Azegbami, let me take it to Mr. Nwata. Mr. Nwata, I want to perhaps, maybe, do you have a different version of event from what Mr. Azegbami has relayed to the audience?
Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey. The truth is constant. The truth does not have version. First, it's quite unfortunate that the party chairman, rather his caretaker chairman of PDP, the question is, under the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act and the Constitution, can somebody be appointed a member of a political party? Food for thought. He said, and he keeps referring to an Edo State Local Government Act, such an elementary fact. It is only the National Assembly that can make acts, and that's why I call acts of the National Assembly. He has been talking of the Edo State Government Local Government Act. It's the local government law, and that's the mistake they keep making. He referred to Section 10 of the Edo State Local Government Law of 2000. That was not the law that the governor and the House of Assembly acted on. It was Section 20. Where they got all this their information from remains to be seen. The governor consulted with the House of Assembly. They came to a consensus that it is Section 20 that enables the House of Assembly to pass a resolution on the request of the governor to suspend these local government chairmen who have become stooges in the hands of Obaseki and the PDP candidates. And I'll give you this clear fact. 800 million naira, before we came on board, November 12th, was being set aside for sharing amongst political actors. It was this particular sum of money the governor asked accounts for, and this chairman contemplating going to court. The House of Assembly intervened, and they refused to give accounts. And of course, the law allows them to inquire, both the governor and the House of Assembly, into the activities of this local government. People talk of financial autonomy on the basis of the Supreme Court decision. That financial autonomy does not give room for fiscal responsibility, where 800 million of Edo taxpayers' money will be shared among political actors, including my dear friend there, who has become so desperate. He has appeared on 4 TV stations. What are they really pursuing? If this suspension is for 2 months, it is not ad infinitum. And beyond that, as of today, over 10 of these chairmen have been impeached by their councillors, who are PDP members. Why are they trying to stop the hand of democracy?
Mr. Nwata, my apologies. Just let me stay with you. Mr. Azegbami, you're going to respond to the allegations leveled against you. But before I come to you, let's contextualize. The law, Section 20 that you're citing, I'll just read and breeze through. Section 20A says, where a council fails in any way to hold the executive council meeting it is required to hold under this law, or the government in B is satisfied that the chairman of a local government is not discharging the council's function under this law in a manner conducive to the welfare of the inhabitants of the area of his authority as a whole, the governor may, in consultation with the House of Assembly, suspend the chairman for a period not exceeding 2 months. When you read this kind of provision as a lawyer, is this not an affront on Section 7 of the Constitution? And let's just admit that this is even right. There's a suspension in place. Has the report been produced such that impeachment has already started? The impeachment process, as he said, takes hours instead of the normal. There's a lot of questions, and you're a lawyer, so help us explain what is going on here.
Can I just quickly make some clarifications?
Yes.
Section 7, which I'll read now, I'll just read it as it is. It says, a system of democratically elected local government under this constitution is guaranteed, and went further to say that the provisions therein in the law that allows the House of Assembly to make a law for the existence, establishment, finance, structure, and functions. What it does is that it allows the State House of Assembly to make a law which is like the constitution of a local government, right? And thereby subsuming all local governments in Nigeria under the control and tutelage of state governments. That is what the Supreme Court tried to do in saying that pay them their money directly, but the Supreme Court does not say states cannot play that in-local parentis function. Obaseki as governor ran this local government for 2 years without democratically elected councils. As Egbemi sitting there, didn't say anything, he didn't come.
That has been
to complain.
Mr. Nwata, that has been overridden
These
by the
councillors
Supreme.
have been elected.
That has been overridden by the Supreme. I'm just trying to look at
We've had many Supreme Court decisions on this matter. The one of July last year is not the first.
All right, let's take it to Mr. Azegbami.
They're saying you cannot appoint people to run local government councils. Obaseki, before the 2023 election, appointed administrators who he called liaison officers. Is it that we have institutional memory?
Mr. Nwata,
where was Azegbami when that was done?
Mr. Nwata, without trying to cut
was
you.
impeached
Just a
in
moment.
less than 1 week.
Just a
Azegbami
moment.
said that impeachment takes 9 weeks. Where was Azegbami when Shaibu was impeached?
Just a moment.
The governor was removed out of the office fastly. He went to court, they didn't obey the order.
Oh dear.
Please,
Mr. Nwata, just a moment. The era of caretaker transition, all of the shenanigans carried out by some governors have passed by the affirmation of the Supreme Court. So we're moving forward, which is why people are a bit confused. Azegbami, Mr. Azegbami, you respond to some of the things he's raised. He's alleged about misappropriation of some of the things he said. Maybe you respond to it.
Jeffrey, I want you to see. I want to see whether you can see this. Can you see this?
It's a bit blurry for us, but I saw initially. Maybe you shifted backwards a bit.
Okay, but
go ahead. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Can you say this?
Just go ahead, Mr. Azegbami.
I'm showing you a copy of the letter written by the governor to the Edo State House of Assembly, specifically saying, pursuant to Section 10(1) of the Edo State of the Local Government Law 2000. So that puts light to what Nwata just said, that the governor and the House of Assembly were premising the letter from the governor and the issue of the House of Assembly taking it on Section 20. The governor in his letter mentioned Section 10(1) of the Edo State 2000 law, local government law. So that first is a big lie from Barrister Nwata, my very good friend. Second lie, and you see, Jeffrey, you see, we have to be very careful sometimes when you invite people to the studio. You need to moderate their utterances. Somebody comes on the studio to your platform and mentions figures without proof, without evidence. It belittles the high level that channels has attained. So I think you should at times kind of.
My apologies. Just a moment.
Look at the people.
Mr. Azegbami, just a moment. If you can hear me, that you're here, the allegation is leveled against you. I checked him, and I'm saying you should respond to what he said. So it has nothing to do with me. He has said what he said. I have checked him, and I say you respond to what he's saying.
The point I'm making to you, Jeffrey, and the part to all the journalists, channels included, cross-check who you are inviting to your platforms, because people come to your platforms and tell blatant lies. I just showed you one. I just told you just now, the 800 million they're talking about, show us evidence. You can't just come and brandish figures. How? Are we a lawless state? Are we a lawless country? My point, Jeffrey, to you and to Nigerians and to Edo.
I've also made a point. We're not taking sides on all that. Mr. Nwata, so Mr. Nwata raised, I'm going to come to Mr. Nwata in a moment, but he has also said a couple of things. Mr. Nwata, you're going to also talk about whether you have evidence to that effect, because I wanted him to respond immediately. Just a moment, Mr. Nwata. He had also mentioned the fact that under Godwin Obaseki, Mr. Nwata, just a moment.
For the government house.
Mr. Nwata, just a moment.
If there was
Just a moment, Mr. Nwata. Mr. Azegbami, you mentioned the fact that under Godwin Obaseki, there were instances of the assembly members that has been referenced, the issue of not having elected officials of local government. So it looks like this is their turn. I wanted you to respond to that as well. Mr. Azegbami, that question is for you. Oh,
I was thinking you were referring to...
no, I was talking to you. I'm talking about some of the things you referenced as to, under Obaseki, the things that were also done. And he was trying to debate or push back on some of the processes you were trying to push forward as to the process of impeachment and all of that. I also wanted you to respond to that.
Let's agree on something. Today, the 6th of January 2025, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the government of Obaseki? I can sit here the whole day talking about how well Obaseki performed in his 8 years as governor of Edo State. The Barrister Nwata sitting here was a commissioner under Obaseki. If Obaseki was that bad, will he be a commissioner under him? So my point is, why look at the side mirror? There's a reason why the side mirror is small. Because you are looking backwards. We should be looking forward. We're looking at today. What do we have in Edo State? Are the councils functioning? Are the council chairmen able to access their offices? The answer is no. Why? Because of the lack of rule of law. So my point is, I will be prepared to talk about Obaseki's administration, but I don't imagine that is why you invited me to this program. I'm sure you invited me to deal with the situation at the local government level.
We're going to look for a way forward, Mr. Nwata. So let's come back to you. And apparently, Mr. Azegbami is not taking lightly what you've accused. If you have what do you call it now? If you have proof, you can present it if you have. But it's raised a couple of issues about quote-unquote, the lawlessness of the APC-led government, given what is going on. He's even talked about violence. We've heard of all of that. So maybe you respond to that as well.
Yeah, I think I'll start by saying that what he came to say are true. Namely, he's trying to create an impression that the local governments in Edo State are not functioning. The local government chairman in Ego, where I come from, has always gone to his office. He has a vice chairman. After the chairman and the vice chairman were both impeached, the leader of the house became chairman, and one of the councillors stepped in line with the provisions of section 19 and 20 of the Edo State government law. And across the various local governments, activities are ongoing. It is the PDP that is trying to snowball their crisis into the local government administration. From national to Edo, you find that PDP is in crisis. 2 of their local government chairmen and councillors have decided to join us in the APC. If they have leadership in their party, will they leave? PDP members in Edo State, they are like sheep without shepherd, including these local government chairmen and their vice chairman, even councillors. I'm sorry to say that the chairman is begging the question. He said, I served in Obaseki's government. I left Obaseki because he became a bad leader. He became so lawless. Look at the way Amana Shaibu was removed from office. Look at the way he appointed somebody to replace Shaibu. Even when both the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal gave judgment,
all right, Mr. Nwata, my apologies.
I just also correct an impression. Can you have a judgment of just one party? He mentioned one judgment from Justice Uwete. That's hearsay. Do you know what they do? Every week they keep churning out all kinds of ex-party orders without joining the other party.
All right, Mr. Nwata, let's get a few facts.
You can only restrain a completed act.
Because of time, Mr. Nwata, let's get a few facts.
You can only restrain an act that is not yet complete.
All right, let's get a few facts. Mr. Nwata, if you can hear me, please. If you can hear me, please.
A panel was appointed, right? Then you now get an order 4 days later to restrain what?
Mr. Nwata, so let's unpack it in 2 minutes each. So the chairman was suspended. As and then the report was adopted, or the resolution to suspend was adopted by the government. What was the outcome of that particular report? And just a moment. Just a moment. What was the outcome of that particular... Mr. Nwata, if you can hear me so that I land on my question. Oh, dear. What was the outcome of that particular report? That's the first question I wanted to find out. And the impeachment process that's being carried out, how is it carried out? We're hearing that 1 or 2 persons of houses of 10 legislative arm are suspending or impeaching council members. Maybe you speak to that.
Sorry, I think because your question was lengthy, I'll take it one after the other. The panel of inquiry that was set up has not even done 1 month. By 17th of this month, it will be 1 month. They have, under the law, they have 2 months, within which they must submit their report, for which the governor will now place before the House to consider whether or not those allegations have been made out. But in between, we've been having one or two distractions from the PDP, led by my friend Tony Azegbemi. Then second, the impeachment by the councillors is a different ball game, because there are 2 ways by which, somebody can lose his seat. First, as a councillor, you can be recalled. Then, as a local government chairman, you can be impeached. The issue of suspension has nothing to do with what the councillors are doing, because suspension is not removal from office.
All right.
Because for you to do an inquiry, to avoid interference, that was why the drafters of that law says that the person should be suspended for 2 months.
All right, Mr. Nwata, let me take it. Let me give the benefit. Let me take it to.
The governor was suspended for 3 months by Obasanjo. They haven't not fault.
Let me take it to Mr. Azegbami so that I have his say. Mr. Azegbami, I've asked Mr. Nwata a question which he has not answered. I don't know whether he didn't hear me, so maybe you'll provide us with the answer. How the people that are being suspended, was there a quorum to the suspension, and how was this suspension carried out? Maybe we hear and respond as we wind down.
Yes, Geoffrey, let me say this, and I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility. There has not been an impeachment of any council chairman in Edo State in line with Section 19 of the Edo State 2000 local government law. I take the correction by Nwata that it's not an act but a law. Maybe because I was in National Assembly, everything we do in National Assembly is act. However, there has not been any impeachment in line with Section 19 of the 2000 Edo State local government law. Secondly, the so-called suspension was lifted by the judgment of F.A. Powamba. So anyhow you look at this whole thing, it's illegality upon illegality upon illegality. What we promise APC and the governor, we will challenge all these illegal acts in court. We will serve people contempt charges. We will pursue people that disobey court orders, including even him, Barrister Nwata, because he's a member of the so-called panel of inquiry. We are going to pursue these things legally. And so I would say that those people should not worry. The law will take its course. Normally it's slow, but it will take its course. It will basically get to a conclusion. And by the grace of God, everybody will know that Edo State is not any other state where you can behave anyhow.
I must thank both of you, gentlemen. We're totally out of time. Mr. Andrew Nwata, former Commissioner for Communication and Orientation in Edo State. Mr. Nwata, we're totally out of time. My apologies, please. I would allow you to talk, but totally out of time, I'm told. Mr. Anthony Azegbeni is the chairman of Edo PDP Caretaker Committee. Both of you, thank you so much for coming on the program. I'm sure that the 2 parties and the 2 sides will find a way to move the state forward. I wish you both the very best. Thank you. Mr. Nwata, my apologies.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right. And that's it on the program. Thank you so much for your time and, of course, your usual company. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. Bye-bye and good night.